All right, you are now tuned in to the Rotated Views podcast. I am your host, Jimmylee Velez. I'm here with Gabe, Peck, Goose, Elijah, and Trey, changing the narrative. In this episode, we have special guest Elijah Davis and Trae Hall. The crew covers topics that range from investing, sales, coaching, the stock market, and much more. We wrap the episode up with quotes from Florence Nightingale and Sonia Sotomayer. Guys, if you're new, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to download and subscribe. We drop a new episode every Tuesday morning for your listening pleasure. Kicking things off, Elijah and Trey. What's going on, gentlemen?
Thank you for having us
Big
again,
time.
man. Big bless.
For sure. So, Trey, obviously our audience knows who you are. I'm sure they've heard of you on an episode or two in the past. So if you want to give a brief intro as to who you are, what you do, and then we'll follow up with Elijah.
Of course, yeah. So I'm Trae Hall. I'm the owner and founder of Oil Money to the Moon. We're a nonprofit organization based in New Jersey, but we help plenty of communities in our local area, from up in New York all the way to Philadelphia. So definitely looking to expand. And that's who we are. That's the business focus. And we've actually partnered up with Roth for a lot of our financial education purposes. And that's why I got my guy Elijah here with me today.
Awesome, man. Thank you. And Elijah, for those of us who do not know who you are and what you do, let us know.
All right, man. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the platform. I'm extremely blessed to be out here.
Absolutely.
Who am I? My name is Elijah Davis. I'm from Central New Jersey. What do I do for my career? I'm currently a sales supervisor for Geico Corporate out of Region 1, which is in Fredericksburg, Virginia. I actually started out in San Diego. That's pretty much what I do for my 9 to 5. On the side, I really try to change the narrative for my people through financial literacy. On the side, I sell a stock course that I created myself. And, during that course, you learn about stocks and investing, and you have the opportunity to book me as your instructor or as a consultant to help you get to the next level in regards to finances and financial freedom. That's pretty much who I am. I'm really just trying to be a pioneer for my people, for the culture.
I love it, man. So explain to us a little bit about how you got started with investing specifically, and then how did it lead into you actually teaching folks?
All right, well, let's see. I started investing my first year at Geico, so maybe going on 3 or 4 years at this point. And it really stuck out to me when I took a college course, an investing college course. It was taught by a Dr. Stelmach at Del Val. That really just planted the seed in me, because he was talking about how his kid had a college fund of like $315,000. And on top of that, one of my professors named Dr. Beck spoke about this thing called a Roth IRA. And he literally said, if I maxed out my Roth IRA from when I was 25 years old, and for the rest of my life, I'll be a multimillionaire. So I raised my hand and I was like, so you're saying that you and your wife been doing this for, he's like 75. I was like, so you guys have been doing this since that time? He's like, yeah. I was like, so you guys are literally filthy rich. He was like, yes, I am. And then after that point, it was just like, this is a no-brainer for me. And the crazy thing about that story is that he said he went off. He's like, I'm sorry, guys, I'm going off on a tangent. I'm like, no. This is the stuff we need to learn, because we're in college, we're about to have the opportunity to get into this stuff. It was a sales course. I can sell anything. I can sell water to a well. You need to teach me this stuff so I can teach my people. So that's literally how it started, and I just never turned back.
I love it, man. I love it. So what once you got started about 3 years ago, actually investing on your own, obviously this was later on after your college experience, what made you want to then, create your own stock investing course? And how did that even come about?
My biggest thing is this: I'm extremely grateful and I'm extremely blessed to come from where I come from. I have a beautiful family, right? I have both my mom and my dad and 4 brothers and 2 sisters. Just that off alone, I'm pretty much doing better than like 99% of America. I grew up in church, and I'm just extremely blessed, and just like your shirt says. And at this point, my job and my duty is to give back to my people. That is something that I strive to do. So the stock course was a no-brainer for me. If somebody took the time out to teach me all the little things and answer my annoying little questions and just answer my phone calls anytime, why can't I be that person with someone else? And literally, that's literally how it started, really. And I'm tired of the cycle of where our people are at, and just not even just my people, just the world and people under like the age of 45, the stupid mistakes we make and the actions we don't take to literally guarantee yourselves to be millionaires. Like if you do a few steps in this life, you will literally guarantee yourself to be a multi-millionaire by the time of retirement. Just that we just got to be disciplined, or we just have to be taught the skills. Some people really don't know.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love it. And so unpack the course for us briefly. So if someone were to take your course, kind of explain what they can expect and how it's all set up.
I got you. Yeah, great question. So it's a beginner level course. It's like 32 or 35 mini webinars. I kept the video short. So I think the longest video might be 8 minutes because I know our attention span right now, including myself, is like nothing. So I know if I did like an hour long kind of thing, people would probably watch 5 minutes and just quit. So it's 32 videos, and so you got the webinars, and you have coursework to go along with it, so you can actually apply the knowledge that you got. So it's like homework assignments, there's quizzes in it, and it's like in a Google Classroom setup. So you have to purchase the code so you can get it, and that's pretty much what you're gonna learn things from literally the definition of a stock to how to trade a stock, how to read a stock portfolio, like how do you know if it's a dividend stock. I also teach you what kind of investor you are. Some people don't know if they're a growth investor or a value investor. Some people don't even know the difference of the two. I make sure I dive deep and outline which one it is. So it's a step-by-step. The course is set up so every lesson builds on top of each other, so it comes together at the end. And then at the end of the course there's a vocab bank where you have all the top terms in layman's terms that you're going to see when you're investing in the stock market. A lot of people might not know what a dead cap bounce is. So if for people that know the dead cat bounce is, like, it's when the market is like faking. It's like, how the cat has like 9 lives. So the stock market will hit the bottom and come back up, right? But some people might invest during that time that's not a good time to invest. But one thing that I learned speaking to my professors and my mentors is that stocks is like 95% vocabulary and concepts. So if you don't know what people are saying, first of all, you're going to feel dumb. Number 2, you're going to make bad investment decisions. You're going to lose all your money. And then you're going to be like, I hate investing. And it's going to continue to cycle. But if you hate investing, you're not going to teach your friends and family how to invest. And it's just going to be a bad thing. But it's very thorough. It's beginner to intermediate level. You take the course. You got to still practice and use other resources to get better as well. Because it's the same thing that I did. It's the same thing that Warren Buffett did, right? All these people learn the basics and then build on it by applying it. So that's what you can get. I mean, I can speak on it all day, but that's the gist of it. It's it's very value added. There's a lot of value in the course for the price that you get. I mean, that's 4 years of my investing knowledge plus what my mentors have taught me all in one course.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I think the huge part, what a lot of people when they teach, and it's one of my goals, is to have the ability to get super complex things, terms, ideas, and break them down into very simple, digestible, biteable items so that we can progress, we can move forward. Some people get so overwhelmed and they just see the stock market, or they read about X, Y, and Z's crash, or invest in this and buy that, but they don't really know why they're doing it or how it even all works. So they're like, they get flustered and don't do anything, right? But with your course, someone has the ability to start fresh and take these small little bites and educate themselves. 'Cause that's really truly what it is. Otherwise, you're going to blow your account anyway.
Exactly. I took that into consideration when making it because literally I am a slow learner. Like I literally ask the most remedial questions. It's almost to the point where somebody be like, how did he get his master's degree? Right? I'm someone who really needs to practice and learn it. And then once I got it, it's in there forever. So that's something that I really focused on, making it. Like I've literally got reviews that people are telling me you've made it so easy that I can understand. Because stocks can be very complex. If you Google some of those stock terms, you'll get a paragraph answer. And at that point, even myself, I'm not reading that.
Yeah, for sure. So where can folks get this course? Where do they go? Is there a website? Is there a page?
You guys can purchase the course at ElijahDDavis.net. Again, that is ElijahDDavis.net. So you can just Google search that, it'll come right up. You go right to the shop tab. And once you get on the shop tab, you're going to see a video. I offered a free video snippet. So you can just get a taste of how I teach, what I'm about, see if you want to work with me or not. And right from there, you'll be able to purchase the course. In addition to purchasing the course, you'll be able to book me out for a few hours to, just walk you through the course, really assignments together, or just help you craft your own portfolio that's tailored to yourself. So I've done that a few times, and helping people open up their Roth IRAs and navigate to their 401k. So right on the website, you can get all access to all that.
I love it. And so can you explain what you're wearing right now? I see it says Roth on your hat, on your hoodie. Is that your brand, or is that someone you support, or?
Yeah, this is my brand. It's Roth, and it stands for Return on the Hustle. So I thought about the idea a couple years ago now, because I was obsessed with my Roth IRA account. That's where it started out. Because once I learned how I can just max it out every single, like if you max out your Roth IRA 3 times, right, just 6,000, 6,000, 6,000, and you just never invest in it again, and it returns like 10 to 12%, you can literally get, if not close to $1 million at retirement. That's literally 18 grand, and just forgetting about it and becoming a millionaire. So I was just obsessed with it. It's to the point where I was calling all my friends every day. Hey, you get your Roth IRA open yet? No? Hang up. Call me back when you get it done. And I was like, okay, how the stock market works and how the Roth IRA works is that it's literally return on your hustle. You work hard at work or whatever you're selling, and then you invest your money into the stock market or whether it's real estate, and then it returns. It just keeps coming back. So that's the return on your hard work, hence Roth.
I love it, man. I love it. So let's switch gears a little bit. Why is it important to change the narrative and to never be a follower?
All right, good. You're going to get me fired up with this one.
Well, that's the point.
So I'm obsessed with changing the narrative. My friends, it's to the point where probably some of my friends probably don't even call me anymore because they're going to get a rant that they didn't ask for. I am super tired of going to Walmart, which is my favorite company, going to Walmart and seeing 75-year-olds literally saying hi to me at the door. Or I go to Dollar Tree and there's some old woman or someone has arthritis bagging the groceries because they didn't make the right decisions in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. So I want to change the narrative for everyone, right? But specifically for my people, like as a minority, we got different life stories, right? And something that I battle with is that, I don't talk with slang, as you can see. I don't sag my pants, right? And a lot of the times that my message gets construed, right? It's like, oh, you didn't go through the same struggle as me, or being rich is this kind of person's trait. That's the white man or the rich man, white. And I get so frustrated. So I got to change their mindset, to change their narrative. Why is it that all these other people can make the same decisions, as far as investing their money, saving their money, but we can't? Like, we got to change something. Because if not, we're going to continue. Like when we get to retirement, I mean, like I'll ask every single one of you guys, how many of your parents, if they're blessed, if you guys are blessed and still have your parents, how many of your parents literally have millions of dollars right now in retirement? We can just go through any of it. I'll start first. None. My parents not even close.
No, the answer is no for all me and my brothers.
So, and it's like, I don't get mad at them, right? Because our parents or people maybe not have the same access to the same information, but it's like, why are we gonna make the same mistakes that they did? One, I literally just, whoever's listening to, I just showed you how to be a millionaire, by the way, guys. If you don't do anything or take anything from this video, literally max out your Roth IRA every single year for the rest of your life. You're gonna get 10% return. That's what the market's been returning since Jesus is, left. And you're gonna be a millionaire. But it's like, why don't we do it? And I seriously believe that I can be the person to change the world for everyone if they would just listen. And if they're not gonna listen, I'm gonna force them to listen. I really believe if I can change the mindset, if I can just get one generation to just all be millionaires by the time we pass, so we can pass down to our children. Just think about how different would your life be if you knew, God forbid, when your parents passed away, right? They passed you down $7 million.
Yeah, it's wild.
Mm-hmm. There's no student loans anymore, right? There's no student loans. You're not worried about student loans. You're not worried about really anything. Like, now you have money to invest and think properly, not have the stress. You can take care of your family. It's just so life-changing. Another example, right? Victoria, right? My girlfriend. And I went to school in an area where it's kind of affluent. And I kid you not, every person that went to that school, their grandparents literally opened up some type of stock account or a CD account or bonds before they were even like a seed. So by the time they got to 18 or 21 years old, they had about 30 or 50 grand. So that's not science. That's literally common sense. You start putting money away from when the kid is 1 to when the time he's 18 or 20, he has money to use. And we need to do better. And that's the goal, man. I really want to change that narrative and get people on board because it'll do wonders for the whole world. Because rising tide raises all ships. So we all have more money and make better decisions. This is going to be a better place for everyone. So that was my long tangent. I went all over the place. I'm sorry about that, but
that's all right.
I'm just super passionate about this, man. Because like, if we all got this passionate about changing the narrative, whether it's finances, whether it's health or anything, the world will be a better place.
Hey man, I'm right there with you, man. Listen, me and my brothers, my friends, we want to, and we have been changing the narrative, regardless of what, it's kind of like the buck stops here. It doesn't matter what, history has produced for us or delivered to us. It was like, if we want a different outcome, we have to do different things. We have to think differently. Our approach has to be totally different. Thankfully, we grew up with, parents that were hard workers who always had multiple jobs. And so we understood hustle at least. And that was a portion of it. And then now we kind of, moving forward, we're putting our twist to it. But one thing that we always talk about is financial freedom. So I want to ask you, what's the importance of financial freedom? I know you're already alluding to it. But
financial freedom to me is literally like everything, only because if you just look across the world, like what problems do finances cause? Divorce, high blood pressure, stress. Like, unfortunately, money runs the world, right? I know some people don't believe that, but they're just fools. I'm just sorry. Money changes so many things. That's the difference between if your grandmother has cancer and her dying, and if you had enough money to pay for that surgery or that procedure, you can do it. Financial freedom allows you to move with a clear mind. There's a lot of people that went to school at Del Val, right, that came from inner cities, and they can't just go to class like other people. If you have financial freedom, right, you go to class differently. You go to class literally focusing on tests and having fun. If you don't have money going to college, now you're focused on going to class, studying for the test. You got to work 40 hours a week while you're getting your college education. So not only do you not have that full fun experience, you're literally stressed to death because now you can't even study. Like it causes so much. You can tell there's be someone who literally has money the way they walk through the day versus someone who's literally struggling financially, and it's like they get a little bit more agitated a little bit more quicker. And financial freedom is just it's super important, man. It's necessary. And we all can have it. Contrary to so many beliefs where some people believe they can't get it, that is the biggest BS. That is such bad stigma that has been passed down from generation to generation that it just needs to end. There's just no excuses. And 2021, with all these free resources and all the people like yourself and other friends that we all know, there's no reason why you cannot be financially free at a certain point in your life. You can't start investing $100,000 right away. But anyone right now, even 14-year-olds, because I had enough money at 14 to invest, but no one taught me, can invest $100 a month or $100 a week. Because you know how I know? Because everybody has Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, Air Force Ones on their feet, and taking care of their girlfriends going to Cheesecake Factory, and they have no business doing so until they invest. So,
yeah, no, I agree, man. And listen, we had a very interesting path when I was me and Gabe went to Temple University, and so we were in the city. I experienced some of my friends' wealth right in front of my face, and I had no idea. No one in my family ever went to college, and so I was the first one to do it. And no one could help explain. They're all supportive. Everyone wanted me to do well, and they're all for it and all that. But when I got there, I was already man, I was so behind. And I'm not even talking about in my class. I just felt so behind. These kids are having conversations on, they wanted to do a startup. We're freshmen. First of all, my head's spinning to begin with. They're planning a startup company already. And I'm like, what is a startup? What are we talking about here? They already had a level of financial literacy that was, you know, I would say most people, they don't get till their senior year in college probably. And they're already there because their family, the people they're around been talking about it since they were kids. And he saw probably his dad do startups with his boys. And it was already set up that way. It was set up so different. And it's funny the way you're saying with work too, because that's actually how me and Gabe met, was through work. We're both working our way through college. And then it took away the fun factor. Because I was not only stressed out about studying, doing 18 credits a semester to 21 credits a semester, because I had to make up, I felt like I had to make up all this ground. I then had to go to work. And then by the time you had time and you had a little bit of money, you're just tired. I mean, it was just like, you're behind the gun the whole time.
Financial freedom, it changes so much, man. It's such a game changer. It really is. I have some friends that are rich, like you said, and you see it. They just go through life a little bit differently, man. And it doesn't make you a bad person either. I know a lot of people think rich people are bad. They're not all rich people are bad people. I mean, they do a lot of giving, but you're not even going to be able to be in the position to give back and do all those other things that they do if you don't get financial freedom.
Bro, let me tell you something. This is one thing I just thought of. Not that I just thought of, but it just reminded me of. There's people that were so many levels ahead of us. Well, I can just say ahead of me. I should just speak for myself. That he sent his son. His son was flipping homes in college. Like he was flipping homes, and his father lived in Florida, but he was taking advantage of the Philadelphia market by telling his son, "I'll pay for your college if basically you be the landlord and run around these houses and collect rent and do." This is what they were doing.
It's
Bro,
crazy.
my mind, I couldn't believe it. He was flipping homes when those shows were, bro, I just was baffled. I didn't even know what to say. Like I felt so behind the entire time I was there. I felt like I was playing catch up the entire time. And I felt like maybe at one point we did kind of catch up because of my hard work and effort or whatever, but it was almost like a little depressing when he thought about it. Like, I was happy I made it to college. Here was the crazy part. I was just happy I made it. I'm paying them, and I was happy to be there. He was getting a free education and wasn't happy until he flipped 2 houses in a semester. I mean, it was just the craziest. I mean, it was just, I want to be sure when we're talking about changing the narrative, I want to do that moving forward, not only with my brothers, but with I have 2 sons. And so I'm talking to them about, actually, maybe about 3 weeks ago, I was talking about investing to my 7-year-old, about investing in precious metals and explaining what the importance of investing is. And I'm not sure how much he grasped, but the fact that I had a conversation at 7, and we've had previous conversations, but I felt like he's a little bit more, little bit more advanced to hear certain things. And that's what it's all about, changing the narrative.
You're planting the seed. That's the most important thing. You're planting the seed.
Having that conversation is key. It's very key. It's key to everything.
So there's a statistic that I looked up, and it says it was ran through 2019. It literally said 0% of Black people had conversations about the stock market up until the age of like 31 until the age of 25. And then after the age of 25, 36% of those people were introduced to stocks. Like, that is way too late. And that is, it's literally crazy. 0%, 0 conversations, 0.
Wow.
Like, that's so crazy. And the best part is, you guys are, you, like, that emotion you felt, like you felt demoralized and felt behind. We literally all have felt that, but we sometimes fail to remember that feeling and make the changes so our families will go through the same thing. It blows my mind. And it's like, we just got to be more cognizant of it. And once we do that, dude, we're not going to be able to be stopped. It's to the point where, like, you're going to be rich. Your family's gonna be rich. Their family's gonna be rich, and it's just gonna be you create a legacy that you're not even gonna be able to see all the upside of it because you're gonna be gone in heaven somewhere. But your family's gonna be, looking up to you, be like, "Thank you so much for leaving me $1 million." And it's just crazy. And teaching them how to fish because the $1 million can blow really quickly, right? But if you teach them how to get that $1 million again, it's a blessing that just keeps on giving.
I love it, man. So you mentioned a little bit about in your intro the company Geico that you work for. So can you explain a little bit about how your sales career helped you with your investing services?
Yeah, I mean, so how is helping my? I mean, I guess it only helps me sell people. Sell people. Right. I know how to sell and get people riled up and get them emotionally attached. But I just always been a salesman. I've been selling since I was a kid, man. My dad really used to have these glasses we used to sell, these like little mini fans we used to sell door to door. Fundraisers back in the day, like going door to door sell fundraisers. And my dad was a salesman himself. He is a salesman. He literally used to sell stuff out of his trunk. He was that kind of guy. If I don't know if you guys have ever been to East Orange before, but back in the day, if you get off the East Orange exit in New Jersey, there's always this guy in a black Cadillac. And I'm telling you, man, there was like a Walmart on wheels. You can get like groceries, CDs, bootlegs, do-rags, wigs. I mean, if we didn't have it, it was because the government didn't allow him to have it. But that was kind of how my dad was. My dad was a bona fide hustler. So I guess is where I got it from. But when I sell my course, I don't really put my salesman on too much because there's a lot of people that sell their stock courses like that and guarantee people, I could turn $1,000 to $10,000 in 1 week. And you know what? There's some people that really could do that, but it's a very small amount. I tell people dead in the beginning of the course, I'm not going to get you rich tomorrow. If this is what you're looking for, then working with me is not it because you're going to be very disappointed. I'm going to show you the fundamentals, so how you can read stocks, understand the market, know when to invest, and over time, long term, you will get the goals that you want. But I'm just not going to sit there and spin your wheels and say I'm going to turn 1,000 to 20,000 in a week because I haven't done that yet. I'm just going to be very transparent. So when I do that, I'll put it in the course. But when I, what I mean,
version 2.0.
Yeah, that it is what it is, man. So I can show you how to sell something, though.
Right. Oh, absolutely. So speaking of that, can you explain a little bit about your coaching style? So once someone purchases the course, do they have access to you in a sense of you being their coach? And how does that work? Is it, weekly calls or email access? How does it work?
Okay, so a lot of times I run a special when I sell the course. I may get like an hour or 3 hours with me for free on top of the course. So basically, so if I'm not running a promotion, which I usually do, but if I'm not, you have to get the consultation additionally on the side. But the course is really it's like a little quick webinar where I explain it. I answer questions during the video, and it's like a script kind of. I don't know if I want to call it that, but it follows along with what I'm saying in the video. So even if you miss a spot, and you can literally follow along with the documents with the video at the same time. But you also have full access forever for the video, so you can always watch it all the time. And then I have quizzes and examples. So I have quizzes, assignments, and examples. So I might be talking about dividends, and I show you exactly how to find it on Yahoo Finance and what each ratio means, why it means this. What does it mean to the value investor or to the growth investor? Because you got to have both in there. And I just break everything down. I made the course so that my 12-year-old sister can understand it. So just so you guys understand, so anyone who's older than 12 is going to be able to run with it because she's 12 and she can do it easily.
Wow. So we have, some of us on here, like my two brothers have daughters in that range. So if they were to get that course, they would be able to actually gain that knowledge at that young of an age. Yeah,
they'll be able to pick it up.
Yes. He's literally taken everything we learned from college and watered it down. He's turned $160,000 education into less than $100 for anybody. And I think a lot of people are in that fear, like, oh my gosh, I have to go to college to learn all this. But no, it's not even, like Elijah said, it's not even a price thing. What I'm offering you is a chance, is a different lifestyle. And that's why I feel like me and Elijah work hand over fist with with it, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make change to more than just people we can see every day. It's more of an education. That's something that's essential. So he's really done great. Beyond belief.
Yeah, I have all my siblings invest. I opened up accounts for my brothers and sisters because my parents were taking too long, and like that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, right? My parents had opened up stock accounts for me, and I told them multiple times, so Mom and Dad, I'm sorry, I'm putting you on Front Street here. Right? He's like, I told him to do it. They took too long, so I did it my damn self. I opened up accounts with my brother Dimitri, Isaiah, Miyaja, and Faith, all UTMA accounts. I'm the custodian on the account, and I put in money in it every single month. And then I tell them, like, okay, I tell them what I buy for them, or I ask them what do they want to invest in and why. And so to make sure the test and make sure they still got the knowledge. But more importantly, my sister Faith, who's what is she, 8 or 9 at this point? When she's 18, I want her to have some money that she can even put towards college or buy a car. Like I want to do all this stuff for her so she can see how it works and get the experience at a young age. And so I mean, that's 4 or 5 accounts alone that I opened up for my responsible for. So I'm really I'm really about this life. Like I don't say stuff just to spin wheels. Because a lot of people will say, "Oh, I do all this stuff," and they're lying. Like I'm not one of those people. Like I can show you the stuff. I really get in tune with this. This is what I'm really passionate about.
I love it, man, and I commend you for that. That's huge, especially having them involved. Creating the account is one thing. You're a heck of a brother. You're a heck of a son, right? But having them involved and showing them the actual process on a monthly basis, or even having that conversation with them, I think that's what it is. I mean, that's what's going to truly heighten the financial literacy, and that's legitimately called changing the narrative, like literally, right? They're gonna have a financial literacy that's going to put them well beyond their peer group for the most part anyway. That's just fantastic, and that's something I admire. That's something I'm going to do with my boys, and just hearing that alone is just motivating. So I mean, dude, good for you, man. I'm happy to hear that. I'm glad that our listeners are hearing something like that, because like we're talking about earlier, it's planting a seed. Even if they don't make a move in the next 3 months, maybe by month 4, like, all right, I'm ready. I heard this once. I heard it from Elijah. And then the Rotated Views podcast said it again. Now, I'm ready. But if you weren't on our show, when would they have heard that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why we love having quality guests like yourself on, because it gives, our listeners that exposure. Where sometimes, some people are like, why did you go to college? I don't know. Or like you mentioned earlier with the internet and what we have our hands to, especially in the United States, right? There's other countries that limit their people, don't have access to the internet, literally. And we have our hands, we have access to the world basically at our fingertips. But it's going to be up to us to teach our folks, to teach our family members, to teach our partners, our friends. And imagine if we get that group where all your boys are investing, all your family members, all your kids, all your grandkids, everyone's is financially literate. I mean, that's an entire paradigm shift for a whole generation, multiple generations.
It's literally insane. And while you were just talking about that, I don't know if you noticed, you were smiling when it was coming out of your mouth, because it's such a beautiful thing. You can't hide something like that. You look at you look at the Warren Buffetts, you look at the all the top people in the world and their siblings, and it's like one person took the jump to be somebody, and it impacted everybody, right? It's insane, and it's so simple. Like $100 a month for 10 years will literally change your life. Like it's like you spend more of that on clothes and going to McDonald's and chasing girls at the bar. And I'm not saying don't stop doing that, because that's fun. Shoot your shot, get some fly gear, but match it. Like, you know what I mean? Because when you get the stocks, you're gonna get even more girls in the back end. So do it. It's all relative, but you just got to be smart about it. That's all.
Sure. So as of recently, the last 10, 15 years or so, the financial market was introduced, or however long ago it was, to cryptocurrency, and it kind of changed the way obviously people think about it, the way finances can actually operate, and what is your take? What is your experience with cryptocurrency? Where are you at with it all? And what are maybe some tips? Do you invest in it, or where are you at with it?
Yeah, crypto's cool. It's not really my strength. I know Trey's big on the cryptocurrency. I made a little over $1,000 in Dogecoin just playing with it. I mean, some of my friends that aren't even really in the stock market have literally made like over 30 grand with Dogecoin. I don't think anyone can say that it's not a part of the future, especially with the generation that we're in and how they're moving and how things are going. I personally do not invest a lot of money or invest seriously in things I do not fully understand. And I just honestly haven't sat down and put the effort into understand cryptocurrency. It's not a bad thing. It's just something that I just haven't done. Will I? Of course. And I mean, I'm going to have to, because this is something that's not going to leave. So for me, where I'm at my crypto career or portfolio, I still have money in there. I still have a couple bucks, $100 just sitting in there. But it's more like, well, if Dogecoin turns to Bitcoin, I'm going to be fine. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's one of those kind of things. I don't look at it. It's just one of those things. But I really focus on the stock market. That's something that I really love and really know a lot about. But I mean, part of being a good investor is adjusting and adapting. So I mean, if it comes to a point where the stock market is just not it, and crypto becomes the main thing, then as a responsible investor, I'm going to have to make the adjustment. But I think it's pretty cool. I mean, my friend Jimmylee, he made 30 grand, and now he can literally, because he was planning on buying a house. He already had like 15 grand saved up. Think it was 15, and he put his girl on too. So his girl made 11 grand. He made 30 grand. They already had 15 in the bank. So I mean, like, he was gonna buy a house anyway. But look at that cushion cryptocurrency just provided him. But more importantly, let's look at the bigger picture. Look at the cushion investing provided from him. Because whether you're investing in real estate, stocks, or crypto, he turns $700 to 30 grand. Now, crypto, that's literally insane, right? It's like, damn, you want to rob him, right? But it's like, now, stock market, can that happen? Yeah, it can happen. Probably not as quick, but just think about it. Even if you turn $700 and it took 10 years to turn to 30 grand, that's still 30 grand that you did. You literally went to work, went on vacation, ate that McFlurry from McDonald's, right? And that money was still growing for you. You weren't doing anything. You were getting richer. Now, to me, that is fire. Like, that is the coolest thing ever, right? So it's like, and also I want people to understand that when you invest in a stock, you become a part owner of that company, right? So a lot of my friends made fun of me because, like, I love Walmart, my favorite company, right? And I'm like, you know what, Trey, you remember this? I was like, yo, I literally am an investor and I own a part of Walmart, and I think that's effing sexy, right? Like, what is not sexy about when I go to Walmart? Like, I own this. Like, get whatever you want. Like, I'm literally a part owner. Like, you didn't think of it that way though, right? It's like you invest in Nike. Like, I own Nike. Like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, I don't understand how, like, people don't think investing is just cool just from that sense. I think it's awesome to be able to say I'm 25 years old. I almost got 100 grand in the stock market. God willing, by the end of the year, I'll be there. As long as the stock market keeps going up, Joe Biden better not mess nothing up for me. But I think it's literally pretty cool to invest in stock. I think it's a game changer, and my mindset has changed. When you can talk to someone who's 65, who's literally a real life millionaire, and be able to keep the conversation going, dude, there's no better feeling than that. And now, first of all, you just earned his respect, and you're going to be in that position in the years to come. I think it's pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. And Trey, since Elijah mentioned you with crypto, what's your take? We have a couple listeners. The reason why I don't want to focus too much on it, but we have a couple listeners that are into crypto, and I felt like this is our time to at least get some some expert advice here. So, would you have any commentary on crypto?
Of course. I mean, with crypto itself, like Elijah said, the main difference between it is one is a currency and one is a part of a company, like Elijah just mentioned. Honestly, with crypto, there's no really barometers, or it's so new that there's not a lot of metrics in there, or there's not a system in there implemented for you to really know how to invest in it specifically. There's more there's a difference between community-based coins, I would say, versus utility. And how it comes about is a utility coin is something that's more essential. So in certain places, such as like Senegal, they're using a certain coin, but that could be used at any Walmart or Target or food restaurant there. So, it's very valuable there. But then you have like community-based coins like the Doja coin. If Elon Musk says something good, it goes up. Right. If he says something bad, it goes down. I don't want my money to be on somebody else's tongue. So that's why I really stay away from more of the community base that people talk about. You have, again, in America, we are a little bit behind, but if you do your research and, internationally, a lot of countries are already using currency since COVID started for a lot of purposes, from paying for groceries to like how we use Cash App pretty much. How you can put money on your Cash App, and that's almost how people are using it. Versus with the community-based coins, they're used the same way, but one person determines if it goes up or down, and that's really a big risk for me. Like, I don't want Elon Musk to say, he hates America, and then the whole coin just goes to the ground overnight. So I'd rather stick with things that banks are using internationally. The best thing about cryptocurrency is most of the platforms, it's helping sending countries from country to country. Like, how if you wire like $1 million, it might take 3 to 5 days. You can literally wire $1 million of cryptocurrency in seconds.
Right.
So it's really just changed the world. Like Elijah said, the future's going to have it, and you want to be in the future, you should probably learn a little bit about it.
I love it. Well said. All right. So in kind of shifting gears and sort of closing out all simultaneously, Elijah, we'll go back to you. What's your recommendation for one of the listeners or anyone really looking to educate themselves in the stock market? What do you recommend? They know nothing. Where should they start?
They should start. Let's see. If you're going from scratch, there's probably a few things. One, the easiest way and the shortcut, which I think everyone should do, is get with someone who knows what they're talking about. I'm the type of person who, if someone says don't go right, I'm just gonna listen. I don't want to go through the same journey you did to get where you're at. I want to capitalize on all your mistakes and get there in half the time. So literally get with someone who literally knows more than what they're talking about, and get into the vocab. Just take a first step. Just get out there. That's my thing. Just get out there. Learn vocab. Get on YouTube. Watch these videos. Get on Yahoo Finance. Read articles. Just start. The first step would be get with someone who knows what they're talking about, and just start. I don't care what you do. If you go on YouTube, Google, Yahoo Finance, literally call someone's grandpa. Call your best friend's granddad. He has stocks. It's not, don't think he doesn't have. He knows what he's talking about. It's literally call that person. and like that's it. Because there's a lot of things you can do, but those are the most important things. I mean, because once you find out. All it takes is one thing for me. Once I found out I could be a millionaire guaranteed by doing that, it was over for me. I didn't have to hear nothing else. So now that'll be the thing. And then the next thing we'll do would probably just to, go to ElijahDDavis.net, go to the page, click shop, and go ahead and buy that course. That's probably the second best thing to do.
I love it. I was like, dang, I gave him the alley-oop and he ain't slam it.
So you guys can go ahead and do that,
So what's the best way people can connect with you? Obviously, do you any Instagram or Facebook or any other?
Yeah, my Instagram is Elijah_Davis58. You can find me on LinkedIn, Elijah D. Davis. You can Google me and hit me up there. Or even on the website, you can just shoot me an email from there, or I'll give you guys my email. It's ElijahDavisMBA@gmail.com.
I love it. And Trae, how can folks connect with you?
Absolutely. So through social media, it's OMTTM_lifestyle. And that stands for Oil Money to the Moon Lifestyle. Or you could just simply email me directly, personally, omttm@yahoo.com. Simple as that, really. And for the record, I did say to the moon before Elon Musk and a lot of those other guys did. I'm doing this since 2018. I know he's coming for a check soon from me. He's not going to get it.
And I also have another Instagram page too that's starting to grow up and buzz a little bit. It's called Return on the Hustle. So it's literally the brand Roth, Return on the Hustle. You'll see some of the stuff on there. On that page, I highlight other small businesses and ask them questions, interviews them, just to go to their, take you through the day-to-day of an entrepreneur's journey and just learning different stuff. And because I really think it's important to see that people our age or in our community are going through the same things. Like all small business owners have pretty much the same struggles, but everyone can handle it differently. And there's a reason why not all small businesses become the big business. And if we can learn from each other, we just make it a better place. So that page is called Return on the Hustle.
I love it. That's like, building your own community, right?
Yep. That's what it's all about, man. That's literally what I'm all about. I just really want us to be the greatest we can ever be. And I can't do it alone, obviously. So if I get a lot of people on board, then you can do it together. Like one hand wash the other, and they both wash the face. So
I love it. Well said. Well said. All right, so we like to close things out with quotes, and the first one is by Florence Nightingale. I attribute my success to this: I never gave or took an excuse. And the second one by Sonia Sotomayer. A surplus of effort could overcome a deficit of confidence. Changing the narrative. In this episode, we have special guest Elijah Davis Trae Hall. We cover topics that range from investing, sales, coaching, the stock market, and much more. We wrap the episode up with quotes from Florence Nightingale and Sonia Sotomayer.
Awesome. Guys, thanks again for joining us. The Rotated Views podcast was produced for self-development purposes. Huge shout out to our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by the Blessed Lifestyle brand. That is BL3SSED.com. Also sponsored by The Motivation Files Unleashed. This motivational mixtape will be your fuel for success. Available on all platforms. Guys, don't forget to visit the website, JimmyleeVelez.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Rotated Views. If you have any inquiries or questions, email us at info@JimmyleeVelez.com. On behalf of myself and the rest of the crew, we wish you massive success. Stay blessed.